I would like to talk about self-regulation, calming techniques for an angry child. When a child's angry, one of the important things to remember is that there is no one solution for issues that may arise in children. What works best with children are having routines, clear and consistent expectations, being able to have a calm down, safe space when they are going through behavioral outbursts, being responsive versus reactive. A child's tantrum or emotional behavioral outbursts may cause negative feelings of emotion within yourself. The important issue is to stay calm when the child's doing this. They're not having an outburst to get back at you or to make you angry. You have to remember that usually when they're having explosive outbursts, it's because they're themselves are feeling overwhelmed. And to ignore versus engaging any negative behaviors. When they're performing a tantrum or being some key issues to be able to help a child to calm down is to try to address the behavior before, especially if the child's known to have emotional outbursts. It's better to try to address the behavior before than during. While the child's having an emotional outburst, they're less likely to listen to you and more likely to react. Whereas before a behavior outburst happens, you'll be able to teach the child calming strategies like breathing or reading social stories or other books about what to do when they are angry. When a child's angry, tantrums versus meltdowns. Tantrums are usually controlled, purposeful. The child is usually aware of what they are doing, then the child is able to communicate. Usually this happens when the child doesn't get their way and they're angry, and they are usually, for the most part, able to control their physical reactions. Meltdowns are slightly different. Children are unresponsive, they're more emotional. Meltdowns usually happen when children are feeling very overwhelmed and they're usually unaware. They're more likely to hit, throw things, kick when this occurs. Regardless if a child is having a tantrum or a meltdown, in both cases, children are signaling a need that they lack the skills to continue to function in a situation. Their world no longer makes sense for them. Whenever a child is angry, especially when they're having a meltdown, things can be rather difficult for the adult who's watching or even other children who are around. As I mentioned earlier, one of the important factors is to staying calm. It's very essential, and to validate their feelings, such as you can say things like, I see that you are angry, I see that you're scared, or I see that whatever they did, a child or something, made you angry. Explain what you are doing and what you are going to do. I'm going to wait here until you are ready. If you need to help the child into a calm space, be careful you are able to address that child first. I'm going to help you over here, and I'm going to wait here until you are done and when you're ready to talk to me. Do not rationalize with your child, but offer help. Remind the child that some of their calming strategies that they've been working on, such as, this is a really important moment to say, I see that you're angry. Let's take a deep breath. And remember to model taking a deep breath with the child. Offer once the calming strategy. If it doesn't help, Give the child some time, maybe a couple minutes, before you try again. If you keep trying over and over again, this usually makes the child even more angry, or it may make yourself angry as well. Set limits. Being able to have the child go to their safe place where they can be angry or upset allows them to know that they are safe and no other children will come in and bother them or make them more upset. And in return, it also helps prevent other children from preventing that space and becoming hurt as well. Always remember to reassure the child and let them know that they are loved and that they are safe, and that you are there for them when after they finish being angry. Once the child appears to be calming down, address with them what made them upset. Talk with them. Find out what happened. It could be from another child. It could be some children get angry when they can't use scissors or when they can't put together a rocket ship. Talk through the situation. Offer techniques, strategies of what the child could have done instead. If it was something where they couldn't put something together, you can say, what could you have done instead? You can give them if statements between two choices. Could you have taken a deep breath? Could you have stopped and walked away? This helps the child to remember or think about things they could have done. Remember that while talking over something that made them upset, the child may get upset again. So be aware that you may have to readdress a calming technique of, I see that talking about this is making you upset. Let's take another deep breath. Or if a toy helps them to calm down, have them squeeze the toy. Or if you have a calm down bottle, have them shake it. Breathing exercises to help calm a child. It's important to remember when teaching a child new breathing exercises is to do it when they are not having a meltdown or emotional outburst. It can be difficult to teach a child anything new or even rationalize with them, as I mentioned earlier, when they're having a meltdown. Some of the breathing exercises that are illustrated on this list are in variety. They offer a breathing exercise with an auditorial response, such as the pinwheel and the wind chime, and using a balloon visual where you're having the child visualize that he is a balloon, or having a balloon inside the child's belly while they take a deep breath through their nose. Another good method is having bubbles nearby, which they sell at a dollar store. You can have the child take a deep breath and blow out the bubbles, which also causes an extra visual where they can get distracted. Bell ring followed by a breath. If you have a triangle or a bell, you just ring it and they listen until the ringing stops before they can take their next breath. Another one is having a child lay down while on their back while having a small stuffed animal on their belly, and breathing where their stomach will move and they can watch as the small stuffed animal moves up and down. That visual also helps them to calm down and pace their breathing. It's very important to, when the child is having breathing exercises, to distract them. It kind of gets them out of their headspace. Some really good books to read to a child to help them understand their feelings or what to do when they are upset are Charlotte and the Quiet Place by Deborah Shoson, A Handful of Quiet, Happiness and Four Pebbles, Sometimes I'm Bombaloo by Rachel Vell, When Sophie Gets Angry, Really, Really Angry by Molly Bang. That's a classic that most classrooms usually have. And the one I'm about to read to you, Cloud's Best Worst Day Ever by Amy Nowfsky. I would like to show you a book that I use in my classroom that helps children talk about not only their feelings, but how to repair relationships after they became angry. In my classroom, we call it How Can We Fix It? One of my favorite books to use is Cloud's Best Worst Day Ever. One of the things about this book is that they have a little insert in helping parents or instructors of how to connect this book with children's emotions. Cloud floated happily across the big blue sky over Kimuchi's way. He showered and fluffed. He puffed. He shined. It was the best day ever. Cloud was about to eat some butterscotch pudding when, poof, he lost a perfect puff. Then, poof, poof, two. That's when, oh, his pudding tumbled to the ground. It was the worst day ever. Cloud floated down Kimuchi's way. It was parade day, but Cloud was grumpy. He was in no mood for a parade. He wanted to drift away, but his friends saw him and gathered around. It's parade day, announced Bug. Cloud, want to help me and Lovey-Dove make a flag? He continued. Cloud frowned. No, he did not. Would you like to blow balloons? Asked Tugtopus. I don't feel like it, grumbled Cloud. Why don't you shine the tuba? Asked Cat. Cloud most certainly did not want to shine the tuba. And what was Cat eating? Was it? Could it be? Is that my butterscotch pudding? Snapped Cloud. Said Cat, her mouth full. I found it. Dat did it. No, 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 rumbled an angry Cloud. Hugtopus tried to give him a hug, but Cloud was in no mood to be squeezed, and that's when he burst. You're not my friends anymore, he shouted, and soaked them all. Cloud knew he'd gone too far, and this made him even more upset. It's okay to be mad, but it's not okay to be mean, Lovey-Dove whispered. Cloud slowly drifted home. Later, when Cloud awoke from his nap, he was the only cloud in the sky. He felt lonely, and then he remembered he had said a big, mean thing that wasn't true. When Bug saw Cloud coming, he inched back into the house. Hugtopus stayed underwater, and Cat pretended to take a nap. What's wrong with everyone? Cloud asked Lovey-Dove, but inside he knew. His friends had wanted to have a parade, and he had rained on it. Sometimes you have to rain before you can shine, said Lovey-Dove. Just then, Cloud heard a loud trumpeting, and he saw his friends on Kimuchi's way. They were having a parade without him. Cloud felt all mixed up inside. He felt sad about what he had done. Then Cloud grew strong. He knew what he had to do. The parade stopped, and all was quiet. I'm sorry. It's okay, said Hugtopus. Then she opened her arms. And this time, Cloud hugged back. It's parade day, shouted Bug. It's not a parade without you, said Cat. Cloud brightened. He puffed, and he shined. And he floated happily down Kimochi's way. It was the best, worst day ever. Some other resources that are books that may help you are Sitting Still Like a Frog, Mindfulness Exercises for Kids and Their Parents. Simple mindfulness practices to help your child, ages 5 to 12, deal with anxiety, improve concentration, and handle difficult emotions by Aline Schnell. Ready, Set, Breathe, Practicing Mindfulness with Your Children for Fewer Meltdowns and a More Peaceful Family by Carla Naumburg. The Mindful Child, How to Help Your Kid Manage Stress and Become Happier, Kinder, and More Compassionate by Susan Kaiser Greenland. And I Love You Rituals by Becky Bailey. This book also helps with children to cope with change.